kind of similar to the ilk of Henderson. That's why I call him the below average Henderson. Above average Ollie Skip. And let's be honest, let's look at the past when Tottenham went for a player like Jermaine Jenas back in Martin Yo's era. It's similar to that ilk. Is he going to help close the gap to the top? Because we all know Tottenham are capable of getting to Champions League. But my point is that is he going to close that gap to try and get us competing with those teams like the Manchester Cities, the Liverpools, the Man Uniteds, but the Arsenals at the moment that are competing for the top spots and competing for the... Yo, it's your boy Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV, back with another video. And back with another video where I want to speak about the chosen one, I call, from Chelsea. He's the captain of Chelsea, Conor Gallagher. The reason why I want to speak about this guy is that Tottenham are linked with him, and there was an article from Ben Jacobs, a journalist, that Tottenham are looking at him because he looks like the perfect midfielder that Ange Postecoglou wants. Going back to what Ange Postecoglou wants. We heard it with Conte, we've heard it with Mourinho, with the players that they want, and that's it. Conor Gallagher is in that mould of player, midfielder, that could play that number 8 that is perfect for Ange's system. Again, a narrative that I've heard before, and that's it. But before I do that, if you're wondering why I'm in my car at the moment, well, it's Mr. Box Office. If you haven't seen me on streamers a lot of the time, it's because I've tried to refresh, reset, restart. And it's quite ironic because I'm trying to refresh the body, the mind and soul. And it's quite ironic I say that I'm working hard at the moment, and they say that Conor Gallagher is one of those players that worked really hard, hey? Very interesting. But something that I think that is something that every player should be doing. That should be a must. That should be something that you should be doing as a given, as far as I'm concerned. There are pluses, because people have told me the pluses, and I do see their point in context of what they're saying. If you bring it, Gallagher works really hard and he's got personality. But then another way you can say, well, it's not Britain's Got Talent, because that's what you get personality from. Love Island, that's what you get personality from. But I guess that personality can rub off on other players and can influence players in a good way, because he's got that leadership quality that can lead the team, and that's it. You can say that he's kind of similar to the ilk of Henderson. That's why I call him the below average Henderson, above average Ollie Skip. And let's be honest, let's look at the past when Tottenham went for a player like Jermaine Jenas back in Martin Yo's era. It's similar to that ilk. He has the athleticism, he can score goals, he can get up and down the pitch as well. So there is a lot of their quality, and that's it. The problem I have with this is Ben Jacobs has reported that Tottenham are willing to pay up to 50 million for the guy, and Chelsea are looking to put a price on him of up to 60 million. So that really kind of sums up that the fact is that he could be like a marquee signing. And for me, that's a problem, because with Conor Gallagher, you can't just bring in just Conor Gallagher. You've got to bring in someone else as well that has got quality, that's got the skill to complement him. Also, there's another thing as well. How is he going to match up with the squad? He's a squad player. Well, again, I go back to what I said before. We can't have this word of squad player. If you're a squad player, you're competing for your place. And that's the problem I have at the moment with him. But again, there's so many other positives that you can say of him. His stats this season, he's been the best player for Chelsea. But then on the other hand, Chelsea are 11th at the moment. They're not in the top 10. They're not competing for any spots in the Champions League at the moment. They're struggling at the moment. They're inconsistent. Maybe you can say that it's just because of the inexperience of the squad. But yeah, he's been good in terms of the best player in a bad bunch of players for Chelsea. And that's all I can say, and that's it. Another issue I have in terms of what with Conor Gallagher at the moment is that, is he going to help close the gap to the top? Because we all know Tottenham are capable of getting to Champions League, and it's an argument to see what happens next season, but we all know my thoughts on that next season. But my point is that, is he going to close that gap to try and get us competing with those teams like the Manchester Cities, the Liverpools, the Man Uniteds, Man United is not so much, but the Arsenals at the moment that are competing for the top spots and competing for the title. And that's my issue at the moment, because Chelsea are not the best right now. And, he's like I said at the start of my video, that he's one of those players that is good, best out of a bad bunch of players at the moment that are not playing very well at the moment. And that's my issue at the moment with it. I have my doubts at the moment. Can he have a great season like he had this season? Can he have a great season next season? Can he be better than this next season? Can he grow into a better player with more goals, assists maybe? But then the argument is he's not that type of player. But how can he get better? That's what I'm saying. Is it because he's going to give more leadership? Is he going to be more influence on the team? I don't know. And that's where I have my issue at the moment. I don't know. At the same time, if it's offered on the table, yeah, take it. But then it comes down to the fact, if he's not going to work out, there is going to be an issue. And then we're stuck with the player, and that's it. And then our Tottenham progressing on what we want to progress like, and that's it for me. But you can see that he could work out. He could play in that number eight role. He could even be someone that could develop into that number 6 role as well. And he could be a guy that could play number 10 as well if he develops into that player, if he improves himself, and that's it. It could be capable of doing that with the hard work and determination and endeavour that he's got, and that's it. He could do that. But that would be all on Conor Gallagher. And if the praise has been that as much as what we've seen with his peers and his previous coaches, that bodes well for him in the future. You can see that as well. So there you go. I'm giving you some things that are for getting in Conor Gallagher. Also the fact that if you bring in somebody else with him who's got a little bit of skill that can complement him, that might be a good matchup as well. Because remember, Højbjerg, he could be more on the next level of Højbjerg, and Højbjerg might be off in the summer. He's more likely to be off in the summer. And look at how Højbjerg worked well with Bentancur in a few seasons ago when Conte was in charge. It was a very good partnership, and that's it. And that could be the same with Conor Gallagher. He could complement with a few of our players as well. He would be familiar with a little bit of working with Maddison. He could compete for his spot with Sarr, but even though I think Sarr's got a little bit more about him than Conor Gallagher maybe. Maybe Conor Gallagher's having a better season, but who's higher in the table? Tottenham at the moment, and Chelsea are languishing in mid-table at the moment. Yes, there's an argument, and when you looked at the Carabao Cup final, he had chances and he has scored goals, but in the major moments in that cup final, he failed. He missed his chances, and that's really a symbol of a top player when he takes his chance, takes the opportunities. Takes his opportunities in major moments, and that was a major moment. And he didn't take his opportunity, and that's it. So it just shows you where we're at the moment, where I'm at with this potential signing. Now there are other players out there that Verval, for me, looks good potential player at the moment. Now if he could work well, if he comes in and can work well with someone like a Conor Gallagher, that might be a way of working going forward. But at the moment, I still have my doubts on this guy. I'm now back inside now, but it was just getting really too cold. Just to get back onto the point about the squad and Gallagher being a great squad player at the moment, I just don't feel that if we are signing him, is it the fact that he's just a squad player is not going to be good enough for me? I just think he needs to compete. I also think we are missing a trick with our youngsters as well. Because for me, Conor Gallagher's, I think we've got youngsters out there that we could find our own Conor Gallagher in our youngsters, in our youth setup, that we can bring through. And I think we are missing a trick this season, not bringing through the youngsters to try and find the Conor Gallagher, because I think they can gain the experience that Conor Gallagher's got and get a better version of Conor Gallagher for us. Like, for instance, Alfie Devine, a Jamie Donnelly. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to overhype our youngsters, but I'm just saying that he's come from the academy, he's had a few loans, and he's gained that experience, and that's what happened with Harry Kane. Remember with Harry Kane, he wasn't pulling up trees, but he got a load of loans out in the Championship and in League One. Came back to Tottenham, taking his opportunity, and the rest is history. I just feel that we can, within the squad. I mean, for example, and I know it's Man City, but I'm really impressed with the way that Guardiola gets the best out of certain players. For instance, John Stones. He uses him not just as a defender, but uses him as a midfielder as well, as a number 6. And I think that's just very good because he's adapting his position, but also adapting to Pep Guardiola to use him tactically in a different way. And it's improving John Stones, who, when he came to Man City, yes, he was a very good player. He had his potential there, but he's now becoming a really good footballer. And I'm not saying that Gallagher's not a good footballer, but if we can get him to play different positions, I think that's great, and it would be a very good alternate, and that's it. But I think that's what we need, someone that is very good all through that midfield, and that's it for me. Now, if he could do that, that would be great signing for us in that sense. If he's got leadership, that's even better, because we have got lack of leaders in our team, I've got to be honest. And I'm sorry, I don't agree with Son being a great captain at the moment. People will disagree with me on that, but you know my thoughts on that. I think Vicario has been better as a leader. I know there's an argument about leaderships and different leaderships, but I've digressed from what I've just said. But my point back into Conor Gallagher, I think that we can find our own Conor Gallagher. I think we are missing a trick as well. So that's why I think that there are for and against this potential signing of Conor Gallagher. Yes, he could help the squad and help the team keep us progressing in this style of football that Ange Postecoglou wants to play, and he might fit the system. But long term, because we all know that this might not last long with Ange in terms of him being the manager of Tottenham, what's going to happen? And that's where my doubt is. And I think it's more to see what will happen if we do go and get him. And if we do get him for the amount of money that Chelsea are quoting for, that will be not, I don't think I could agree with that, and that's it for me. But what is your thoughts? Do you agree with me, agree with Mr. Box Office, or disagree with Mr. Box Office? Let me know in the comments. And also, as I've given you a little bit of a teaser on what my next video will be, it will be about the youngsters at Tottenham Hotspur, the youngsters that everyone has hyped up highly, but Ange Postecoglou doesn't seem to want to use them in the team at the moment, even when we had big injuries earlier in the season. And that's it. But keep liking and subscribing and keep yourself locked in and watch out for that video when it comes in, and that's it. But this is Mr. Box Office, the main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, the ratings killer. And if you don't know, get to know. And you'll get more of like these videos outside on location, but back at home as well. So keep liking and subscribe like I said before. And as always, if you didn't know, get to know. Support your boy, Mr. Box Office. Subscribe and like, and come on you Spurs. And I'm out.